how the map really plays out is going to decide the victor. And because of that, I think I'm going to have to worry a little bit about BTK, as they're not necessarily known for their map play. Really, they're more known for their team fights. But this game here, both the compositions are really easy to execute on, I'd say too. So it's going to matter on how they maneuver around that map in the mid to late game.
We'll see. Let's go. This is going to be game number 3 between Boars Gaming and BTK. BTK looking for their first ever win. Hopefully try to tie things up, but Boars Gaming, they're coming in for the kill.
Absolutely. We see Shark on the lane, a bit more of a proactive roamer, as we were mentioning, and do the Prison Sprite on him. Now, this is a meta pick on him there. Look at that early game Prison Sprite onto 2 there. He does start that skill 2 to go ahead and pull the wave here, but there we go, forcing a flash from Red QT here.
Okay, not bad. Great start. I mean, they did have to kind of claw their way into that. But let's talk about BTK. This is a team that was formed 8 years ago by a group of friends. And of course, their friendship has continued. And
in the bot lane, Shark really want to make sure that Zane gets a really good laning phase going here. And he's not pressured out and such. And we see Boars Gaming, you know, matching it here, playing more very traditional lanes here, 2v2 bot lane.
Yes, the protection coming in. At this point, really, it's just how much damage can Mac put onto Shark before he runs away. At the same time, there is a rotation coming in. Potential first blood. No, it's got a 2-on-2. A big win. Boars, they lose the first blood, and it's a BTK. Best player 1 gets it for the team.
We thought best player 1 was playing Luna earlier. He's actually playing it now, and we've seen the devastation that Luna can cause, and he's kind of on track for that right now. Gets first blood before 2 minutes into the game here. Can best player run away with the game, similar to how Weiss did versus them?
Yes, he needs to do it now, right? This is the best timing. They also get the space right. He gets that farm in the mid lane as well. All stories aside, BTK, this is a great start.
Absolutely. Best player 1 going ahead and clearing out his jungle, getting that mid farm, as you mentioned here as well too. Whereas the side of Boars Gaming, kind of similar to 9Z, they have a composition that funnels gold into that Fade, right? The Fade has been doing surprisingly well. I think it's only been picked 2 times here, and it has won both of them. But we see Weiss going and teleporting into that minion there, and best player and BTK, they're all on this Azure Golem.
Slain an enemy.
Yeah, it's not going to be a pretty picture for the side of Boars. 5 members strong, they come in. There's nothing Mac can do here, and there is no punishment coming out from Boars just yet, which is really scary, but it's great news for BTK fans.
I think Weiss was jumping in there thinking he was going to take on best player 1v1. Little did he know 2 people were on his Azure Golem bush there, and he jumped into the wrong neighborhood for sure. I think he ended up securing it because he got the ultimate on the Azure Golem, if I'm correct, but he instantly gives it back away as he goes down.
I mean, it went into the hands of Shark, and for now, they do secure the Azure Golem for best player 1, so that's good news for them. Boars Gaming, this is unheard of, but this is a nice situation to be in.
Absolutely here. BTK, this is the momentum they need. They need to keep this momentum up here. They have the Luna. If there was a pick that would get out of control and win the game, it is this. Here we go. Another combo from Luna coming in onto the Mulan. He dashes away onto the Liang. Liang gets dropped low. Mulan actually getting spared potentially? No, okay. Yeah, very good target acquisition there from best player, knowing to ignore the Mulan and going onto the squishier Liang.
Yep, good idea, right? They did have to commit Phasma's ultimate, but here we go. More Zane 1v1, and this is what we're talking about. When you fight against BTK, you don't fight them, you play the map. But for now, BTK, they are forcing Boars to fight with them toe to toe.
There we go. We were talking about the Zane Marco Polo, right? He's never busted out yet, but now in Survival League, when it matters most, all right? When his game is on the line, he busts out the Marco Polo and gets a solo kill onto Mac.
That's a big marker, and right now they will be able to wrestle for this first 4-minute Tyrant. In fact, this is the first time I've seen BTK on the Tyrant first, and they get it as well. So this is a great lead. It's not the biggest, it's about 1,000 gold ahead for the side of BTK, but it's a good advantage.
Zane and Mac, let's see how this plays out. Oh, okay, I guess we don't get to see how it plays out. But he gets the kill. We know what happens, and that's what matters.
I believe it's the Purify that he used, right? So you can actually purify your the max first skill, the target side, and cancel it out. Now, with that being said, this is a difficult position for Boars, but I'm also curious because I don't think Boars have been put in a very difficult position pre-10 minutes. I want to see how they try and turn this around.
Absolutely. The Mulan here getting a lot of pressure put on them here, but Mulan, one of those things, relatively resilient to pressure here. But speaking of pressure, Zane being put under a lot of pressure here. But Yang
nice
to
catch!
the save. Beautiful treasure smash.
Super beautiful. That one double kill. Mac and Phasma, that is the combination you want to take out. Now, Red Cutie can't do anything alone without being at risk. And now Boars Gaming, they get punished heavily. This is a brand new BTK.
I don't want to jinx it, but this is looking really good for BTK. All the stars are aligning for them here. Zane is ahead on the Marco Polo. Best players ahead on the Luna. They have Poon on the shut to go ahead and enable both of them. Fried Chicken has the battlefield command to protect either of his carries, which are both really ahead. This is looking amazing.
Yes, it is. Definitely is. Boars Gaming, this is the first time in a long time we've seen them on a deficit pre-10 minutes. But this is refreshing to see because both teams are doing something that is really out of their nature.
Absolutely. Let's see how they go ahead and siege this mid tower here. Boars Gaming is here to go ahead and try and defend against it, but the poke from Marco Polo should be pretty solid compared to the Fong, right? He's able to land that skill one on the wave and onto the enemies of Boars Gaming. We have Shark on the side here ready to engage if he sees an angle, and how Shark and Zane go ahead and combo their ultimates is gonna go ahead and decide the game. Right there, they had a beautiful combo with the Tremor Smash onto 2 with the Prison Sprite, and they won the fight immediately. And they need to keep doing that if they want to secure this win.
Yes, just making sure that they play with vision well is definitely a big marker of success for the side of BTK, right? And at this point, look, they're standing around this neutral objective, trying to stop any movement whatsoever from the side of Boars.
Yeah, BTK looking to fend them off of the Overlord, and now that Primal Bonds run out, they go ahead and secure it for themselves. They take the first 2 objectives in the game here against Boars, and as you mentioned, Boars is probably not used to playing on the back foot here, especially not against BTK probably, because they just beat him 2 times pretty handily here, but BTK is flipping the script here, going for the reverse sweep.
Yo, what is happening? At this point, 30-05, looking for an opening, will not be able to spot anything just yet. Hoon nicely checks the brush, gonna be using his flash to escape. And once again, they survive. It's 6-0. Boars have not found a single kill.
Absolutely there. Hoon showing a lot of respect to 30-05's Mulan there. Just immediately flashing away. Does not even want to give him the chance to go ahead and get that kill there. But another thing I want to pay attention to is Fried Chicken with that ultimate battlefield command. He has not really used it yet. But now he's going to be watching out for all the players of BTK, and they're not going to be as vulnerable as you think they are.
Yes, and now best player 1, he's gonna get caught. The 3-member rush, get the suppression. Where's the heal? It comes down, they stop it. The freeze does not connect, and maybe they can turn this around. BTK, is the support coming? No, it's the Boar support coming, but 30-05, there is no more window because the rest of them is gonna jump on the Mac. They force him away, and they get access into the T2. Will not be able to take it, I think, because Mac... Oh, hang on. They should be able to secure this, but the backup is coming. Boars as well. They're going for the second part of the fight. They lock them down, and with that Jade Mark, they will get the kill. But it's just one single member. That is Hun, and it doesn't matter for the side of BTK. They came and got what they came for.
We were just talking about that battlefield command come out, and it comes out super clutch, saving best player there from the combo of Boars Gaming's Liang there, catching him out, giving Luna enough durability to wake up off of the suppress. But here we go. Does he have it again? They do the combo again. Here we go.
On the back line,
he's not able to survive.
He's not, because the freeze came through, and this time it is going to be Boars Gaming, and they are going to start trying to mount a comeback here because it is important to shut down this Luna when she's behind.
Yeah, the Fade is just too much damage. Having to survive the Princess Frost combo with the Liang, with the Fade as well too. Sure, you get that shielding from the battlefield command, but it's just too much damage on South Boars Gaming. And they're able to execute you afterwards as well too with that Hardened Jade Seal.
I mean, it looked pretty good at the start, right? BTK, they were able to avoid all these skills, and I think Red Cutie kind of adjusted to make sure that he was a little bit more stricter on the timing to get the freeze as well. And this one will be secured by Mobile Zane. He gets the Crimson buff.
Even though BTK was so ahead, if we look at the gold, they're only up 1,000 gold. We're seeing Boars kind of churn it here a bit. And this is not what you want to see if you're a BTK fan. Their lead has been slipping. Best player on the Luna is extremely strong here. He's only up 600 gold, not quite running away with the game as we've seen Weiss on the Luna before.
which is kind of scary because this was supposed to be the MO on the side of BTK, right? They start the fight, they finish it, but here we go. It's a one-on-one kill. Mobazine gets rid of 30-05. No, it was not. It was actually a save by Fried Chicken as well. So with that 10-minute mark, what a timing to have a 4v5.
Absolutely, they can definitely group up as 4 and have Fried Chicken go ahead and split push there, and he's able to join the team whenever he needs to with that ultimate. That's the strength of the Lee Vang pick.
Yes, and they do get the catch. Can they burst him down? It will be set. So Rick Cutie responsible for the death on the side of Boars Gaming. So this is going to open up the map for the side of BTK. They secure that 10-minute Shadow Tyrant, and for now they will be looking for another fight.
It looks like momentum is back in BTK's favor. They had one little slip up there, but they're bringing back Fade with the sideline assassination though. But Zane goes ahead and tries to punish that, and he does. He takes out Fade there along with Mac potentially here. It looks like takes out 2 before he goes down.
But it's a beautiful win. It's 4 kills. Let's take a look at the replay down here. This was the 1v1, the charge coming up, the passive of the Marco. That was what really helped here. And unfortunately for them, the damage was a little bit too much. And down here, another knockup. It's 3-on-1. Can they get the kill? They get the shutdown on the best player 1. Unfortunate for them as the comeback is starting. Rick Cutie gets another kill. And it's kills galore. Immediately, they have 6 kills back. Boars Gaming.
We couldn't quite see what happened to BTK there. They took a really strong fight. They got a 4-for-1, I think. But then, you know, during the replay, something happened. They actually gave it all back up. And now this is, again, this is what we were mentioning. We don't want to happen if you want to see BTK win here. They get the lead and they go ahead and give it back up to the enemies.
Yes, and right now this should be a secure Shadow Overlord for the side of Boars Gaming, and they will start aggressing into the jungle. I don't think Shark wants to stay here. Hun may be able to get the catch, but the freeze comes in, and it's almost all over. They get the kill onto Shark, maybe. The heals come through. There is a turnaround. BTK, what is happening to them? They turn this entire thing around. They take out Wise, Mac, and Phasma, and BTK are on the shutdown and the rushdown as well. They get another catch. This is life over for Red Cutie, and 30-05, he can't defend. He has to try to go for the split push, but 4 members on the side of BTK, they see the doors wide open.
Can BTK go ahead and win here? The timers are low, but they're not that low. These minions are slowly marching forward. They do have Overlord Vanguards to kind of try and push it. It looks like this could potentially be game. We need to see 30-05 clear these minions if they don't want to lose here, but he's actually playing really safe. He's not fully clearing the minions here. They do survive though on the side of Boars Gaming. That looked like it was close to the end there.
Nonetheless, it's a big win, right? They get a open wound in the middle lane. While that is not the ideal lane you want it, any open wound is great. So Boars Gaming kind of like floundering against the side of BTK. They are aggressing, they're allowing the team fights to happen. That's what you're not supposed to do against BTK.
Absolutely. Phasma honestly overcommitted a little bit too much for Shark there, popping that howl. He couldn't find any members of BTK that were better than Shark, so they grab up Shark and try and take him down. But he was just so durable being a Liang Po, as well as getting the battlefield command to try and sustain him up, and he was able to sustain up and turn that fight. That was a beautiful counter engage from the side of BTK.
Yeah, but Boars Gaming, they were lying in wait. They know something is available for the taking soon, and they will go for it. For now, it's just the Azure Golem, but a T1 in the mid is more important.
If BTK are able to mount, you know, a team fight like that, once again, they should be able to win the game here. Now, if they win another team fight like that, there's nothing stopping them this time. Last time, they had to go through all 3 mid lane towers here, which really slowed down their minions' progress. But here we go. Let's see how they go ahead and play it up. I think Phasma is going to be a little bit more tactical with the ultimates now, as not as willy-nilly as before, because he grabbed Shark, thinking they didn't just take him out very quickly, and that spelled their demise, actually.
Yeah, you can see the vision control coming in. Shark does give them the information. Do they really want to charge down? I don't think that's the best idea. Right now, they spot out Wise. If they catch him, it might be over here. They have a 3,000 goalie, bear in mind. Here we go, Shark tanks it up. Not able to look for an opening just yet.
Shark is looking for a Tremor Smash. You can feel it here. He's looking for an angle where they group up so you can go ahead and get that combo onto the enemies here. Boars Gaming trying to aggro the Tyrant and get something happening as well here. This could be potentially the final fight of the game here if BTK wins the fight. Let's see what happens.
Yes, you can see both junglers waiting for the opportune moment here. Wise does have his ultimate. Similarly, Fried Chicken, the backup. that is supposed to save the team is going to be open as well. But they don't know that 3005 is in the corner here. It might change all here. The stun comes in. They actually get him out. And at the same time, White dives a little bit too deep, maybe. Gets taken down. He does get Hoon down in that same moment as well. But the jungler on the side of BTK has fallen. Best player 1 taken away. And the aggression immediately turns. But Boars Gaming, this is short-lived. They have to defend the base. There is an open wound. There are minions marching down in that middle side.
Absolutely, best player is not able to survive the Liang Princess Frost combo. We see the Princess Frost in the class build really conservative with the ominous and glacial and stuff like that. But this Princess Frost is going full damage here, basically has the Twilight Stream to do as much damage as possible. They want to ensure whoever gets grabbed up is going down.
Dark Tyrant has been
You maybe no, not gonna happen. This is gonna be secured by Boars. That is 90 seconds of fighting prowess, and this one was secured by Mac. But on the other side, top side, you can see BTK trying to play that macro game to survive, buy time against Boars Gaming.
Absolutely, Boars Gaming actually coming back into this game here. It seems like basically throughout the whole game, BTK had the momentum in their favor, but they're able to get some overlords and switch up that momentum here with that Fade securing the objectives. And it's gonna come down to a fight here.
It definitely is. I mean, the damage output is insane. Oh, hang on. Mac is taking a little bit too much here, and Wise needs to be really careful. At this point, it really is dependent. Number one, where does Wise dive? They get the lockdown as well. Combination available. The tank is not tanking. Shark is taken down, and Wise, he is looking for an opening at the same time. Best player 1 has been taken down. 5 members on the side of Boars Gaming still alive, and they're still pretty healthy as well. Oh, nice catch by the side of Hoon. Not going to be enough. Mobilization, he cannot fall here. He already used his Purify.
Best player going down there without getting locked down by the Liang is not good here. They're able to take out both Shark and best players. They're really pivotal in these fights, kind of anchoring these fights here. But now Boars Gaming taking a high ground of their own, if not 2. But great catch from the show there onto the Fade.
Yeah, they do. They get the kills as well. No, it's just 5 chicken left. And Boars Gaming, this is completely open for them. They just have to clear the wave. In fact, 3005 might even give his first life. And with that, Boars secure the clean sweep 3-0.
Wow, that game really turned on its head there. BTK was basically up all game, but we were mentioning it's always going to come down to a fight when it is so close. And they lost the final fight when it mattered there.
Yes. Important decisions to be made for both teams, and I'll be honest, this one is a great improvement for BTK. This one was so close. They just missed that last leg.
Absolutely. They were ahead all game basically, right? But they still show signs of, giving back the lead to enemies. What the great teams we've seen do here is whenever they had a lead, they don't even let the enemies play the game. They don't give them a chance. Yeah. But BTK is able to go ahead and get this lead, which is extremely impressive. They could have easily won this game if that team fight went a little bit differently. They were still ahead in that fight here. But just honestly, as you mentioned,